The hot
just,
seat.
I'm, I'm just laughing because, Team Trevino has so much going on. All positive, guys. All positive. We are gonna produce a special for Netflix. I can finally say it.
Oh, that's right. Last
Yes.
time I didn't almost. I spilled the beans and they
Well,
bleeped it
people
out.
are starting
right?
to figure it out, but Rick is gosh. I don't think we could do any of this without Rick. So Rick is the production company for the special, and he's got calls and
Yes.
a lot of things going on with the Trevinos. And then we literally just asked Lori, we're like, "Are you gonna stay in there for the podcast?" She's like, "I got a lot of shit to do." And she's just like.
Rick's like, I'll be on for the first 15 minutes, and then I'm jumping off, and you can tell he's in the car, like he's mobile at the moment. Yeah.
So yes, we have a lot of things to do, and yes, for the first time in the Trevino career, we are having somebody else produce a special for us. So this is our first time, So it's just all the hard work has paid off, and also,
When you say produced, I mean we're still using people that we've worked with before,
yes,
but we're bringing in new
we're
people
not paying
too.
for it.
Yes, we're not paying for it.
Yes, Netflix is finally paying us to do a special.
Yeah.
So it is super, super exciting. And again, like when it comes to that, what I will say to people is that, continue. And by the way, not to mention, Netflix is like, hey, we trust you guys. Do your thing. Do it the way you want to do it. Mm-hmm. So we also got to a point where doing it ourselves has led us to this point to where
you have a track record.
We have proven to them that we can do it and that we do it well. Not only that, in the past, you have been a producer.
Yeah.
You have been a assistant director. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it has now led to this moment that you get to be the director.
Yeah.
So we're just so excited. And San Antonio, we are going to film at the Tobin Center.
Yes.
We're already sold out one show, which is Saturday at 7 o'clock. We're adding a second show Saturday, and hopefully we will do Friday too, so that I could film Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we'll take the best moments from the whole weekend.
I mean, you usually end up killing it in one show. It's not like the best moments of your performance typically. It's more like camera. We want to be able to get different camera angles.
And directing and the audience and the theater. And there's just so much to get. But I don't want to dwell too much on this, but I'm so excited.
I am too.
That happened for us. And it's just, it really is super, super cool to not have the feeling of like, and not to have to be creative and, okay, are we going to make enough money to pay for this special? And I mean, I literally just paid off one of my specials. Yeah. Till death. Like, the cost of it is so high, it's like, man, we end up partnering with other people financially and they help us out, or Rick and his team come in and they do it for minimal cost. I mean, we're always having to be, creative. So it is fun now to not have to worry about, oh crap, how are we going to figure this out? And to see Rick, like, Rick's at Tobin Center with us as we're scouting, and he's like, we got money now. We can do this. We can do that. We can, to see Rick get excited. So Team Trevino is doing big things, and we're so excited about it. And again, I'm so happy to film this special. Yeah. Get that material out there and then start over.
Yes.
So
someone was asking me, even like a friend of ours was asking, she was like, okay, so have we already seen this show? And I said, well, yeah, you've seen him, at a live show. I said, so it's going to be the sandwich bit. It's going to be the truck bit. I was like going through the bits with her that are going to be on the story of how you and I met, which I love. I'm so excited that that's finally going to be on the special.
I'm so excited too. And, but this particular, COVID, really kind of fucked things up because we were going to film, during when COVID hit, we were already going to film a special. Yes. Then COVID happened. So then we had to push that special back. And then I had to go back on the road and tune that special up. And then finally we filmed that special. And then, took forever to get that special out into the world, which is on YouTube right now. I Speak Wife. Then it was like, well, by the time we filmed, it's just been, so finally we're back on schedule.
I was, because I've been watching all the comedy specials like crazy just to kind of see what what people are putting out. And I can't even remember. I've seen so many. I can't remember which comic it was, but one of the specials I was watching, the comic said the same, you know, he didn't go into depth on it a ton, but he was like, I was supposed to film this special a lot before COVID, a long time ago, you know? So I think it happened to
a lot of comics, you know, but I will say that, you know, thank you for being patient with me. Those of you that come to my shows over the years and you see the material, and yes, it's still funny. And I'm glad that you don't sit there and go, oh, this again. Well, hopefully it got better and hopefully you enjoyed it. But those of you after November, when we film, we're going to start over. You know, we're going to get rid of the truck story. We're going to get, you know, and start really trying to put together a new special. So I'm super excited. I'm also playing Vegas in December, which leads right into what we're about to talk about. December 10, 11, 12, 13.
You have lots of great dates coming up. Virginia Beach, Buffalo, St. Louis, Missouri, Charlotte, North Carolina, which I've never done the Carolinas. I think I want to try and sneak and do that. I think the family's going to
go there right before
San Jose.
School starts.
I mean, you're all over the place. You're doing Minnesota. You're doing Louisville. You go back to Irvine. I feel like you did Brea, but you haven't done Irvine in a long time either. Yeah. And Albany, you're doing New York.
Super miss San Diego. We got to get a date at San Diego.
Yes, we were talking about that. I'm excited for New York too, though. We got to figure that out because your schedule that week is crazy.
Oh my gosh, it's nuts.
And Garrett wants to do New York too.
Yep. Well, we got to figure it out. But as you guys know that have been following us here at the Trevinos, man, it has been a couple things to talk about on this one. But it has been a exceptionally emotionally tough year.
Yeah.
You know, it has not been easy this year with family stuff going on, with Renee's family, with scheduling. I mean, it's been tough. Yeah. So we did a couple things. You know, I did take July off, as you guys know, and we did do Hawaii, and we talked a lot.
Which has been nice. I thought it would feel like things slowed down a little.
It didn't. Yeah,
it doesn't. It doesn't feel like that, but it has been nice to have you home.
But so last week, Saturday, this last weekend, I helped a friend of mine, Mark, who owns Compadre's restaurant in Bernie, Texas.
Yes.
Which, by the way, passing through Bernie, stop at his place. It is Tex-Mex barbecue fusion.
Bernie's such a cute little town too. We don't really spend time there because it is a bit of a drive for us, but it's a really cute little town.
But oh my gosh, his food is just, I mean, brisket, queso. I mean, it's Tex-Mex, barbecue meets Tex-Mex, and birria tacos with, I mean, it's just.
What is that? What did you say?
Birria tacos.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I'll take you to go get some. They're amazing. But he started a thing with WWE wrestler Bill Goldberg called the Purple Heart Foundation, where he does a gala and raises money for Purple Hearts in particular. So I told him that I'm happy to help him with his stuff. So Saturday we were able to go to the gala.
Yeah.
And it was nice because, you know, cousin Frank and his wife Lucy came into town, spend a couple days with them. And Frank, I would say that he is the most like me cousin.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I love Frank.
Me and him are
he's funny. He's smart.
You know, he's like me. He's like me.
But no, you know what he is? He's funny and he's very smart, but he is like you. He's like low-key smart. People just think he's goofy like you. People just think you're goofy. They don't realize how smart you are.
Wow, this is a new one. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime you compliment me, I get like
surprised.
Like,
what
do I do? What's happening right now?
I'll give you a little credit, baby.
So we were able to not only have Frank and Lucy here and catch back up with them and their daughters and you know, but we were able to take them to the gala with us and hang out with them, and we just love when Frank and Lucy come and spend a couple of days with us. And but the one thing that I do want to talk about is that there are moments, and I posted it on Facebook and Instagram, that they just take they hit you. It
brings you to the present. If you're, is that what you mean? Like you're someplace else, and all of a sudden you realize
it just hits your heart. It hits your soul. You know, and this woman, you know, came up to me at the gala, and she said, "Oh my God, I wanted to meet you, and I wanted to tell you, she is a Gold Star mom,
Mrs. Castro,
which means that she lost her son in combat." Which, you know, I can't even begin to understand or fathom. I mean, I'm getting emotional talking about it and thinking about it, what that must be like, or what she must be feeling, or what you go through, to send your pride and joy off to the military, and then to find out that your son was killed. Like, I just can't imagine. But the moment that I had with her, she came up to me and she said, I just wanted to come meet you and your wife because before COVID, her son passed in 2015. She said before COVID, we were able to go to therapy sessions. We were able to go out and have dinners. We were able to keep our brain occupied
be social, even though it was hard.
Be social and go out. But COVID hit, the counseling stopped, the social interaction stopped. We're stuck at home with our thoughts. And she said, that's when we discovered you and Renae. She said, we started watching you guys on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, you're retelling the story, and it's giving me chills because she was just so sweet.
She was just so sweet. And she said, your sense of humor, your relationship with your wife, watching you guys joke around. She said, it was just so healing for me. And she said, I just appreciate your sense of humor and thank you for doing what you do. And I just, it's moments like that where you go, man, it is worth it.
Yeah.
Taking that time out of our week to do the podcast, to travel and go out to perform. It is definitely worth it.
Well, and sometimes it feels so silly and frivolous, and then for someone for you to see right in front of you how it impacted and affected someone is just it's heartwarming.
It really is heartwarming, and it really is a beautiful thing. And man, I just came home that night praying about her and just really trying to understand what she must be going through. Yeah. Right. And I look at my son, I look at my daughter, and I just go, I cannot imagine. I can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
And that was the big debate too, is like, are galas like this comforting to parents like that?
Yeah.
Where we honored, because we ended up that night, we honored her son, and several other parents there that lost their kids. And I just wondered, like, is it one of those things that warms them and makes them feel better?
Yeah, I mean, there was a table with frames of all these young men in uniform, their pictures, and it's like, is it painful to have to be there and see that and open up those old wounds we talked about? But I think Lucy, who's a school counselor, said no. She said, I think you want that they're still remembered, that it wasn't for naught. Like, yes, it's hard, but the fact that their memory lives on is comforting. They were here.
Yeah. No,
they did make an impact.
But it was a beautiful night, and again, man, I try so hard to give back of my time and my efforts, and because I do think that being this blessed and this lucky to tell jokes for a living, that's part of the responsibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, when you talk about her, I said it makes you want to put more positivity out in the world however you can, whether it's being silly here on the podcast or you are so good at being an auctioneer, the way you show up at these events and you just raise money. You guilt people into it.
I guilt them. I try to be
they're
funny.
like, wait a minute. I just said yes. Did I just raise my hand? Yep.
But I don't know what we raised, but it was at least $50,000, and I'm happy to do it. And just a testament to Bill Goldberg as well. I mean, I think that he takes on the same responsibility that, hey man, I'm this big international superstar.
Yeah.
I should give back. And he's always so generous with his time and takes pictures. And then we met Shiloh as well. And Shiloh, please look him up. Very, very funny, motivational speaker, fucking great guy.
Yeah.
But he was completely burned and he lost his ears, and he has these magnets implanted in his head.
Like a barbell clip, and they're magnetic.
He's able to put his ears on, right? And he has some Spock ears, which is even funnier, right? But man, super cool guy, and he's speaking. Apparently, he does comedy. So I'm gonna reach out to him because I would love to have him on some of my dates as a comic. And,
he was such a dynamic speaker. So
great,
same thing. I would love to see him on stage because I thought he was a
funny, great speaker, confident.
Yeah.
You know, and his story is just, I mean, unbelievable, right?
What he lived through.
He lived through, and you know, in a coma for 2 months, and I mean, just the man is phenomenal. So that was our Saturday, and then Sunday, Renae and I decided, okay, we don't want to be away from the kids too much, but we need, at this point, we just need some husband-wife time.
Yeah. Keep
it simple, you know.
I'm laughing because you say keep it simple. I think most couples do a weekly date night, which we don't. We got on a plane and snuck away.
But simple is the point to, you know, no entourage, no shows, no circus, no, you know, just me and you, another couple, and we ended up with 3 couples total, and that was perfect.
Including us.
Including 2 other couples. Yeah, 6 total. And we left Sunday, landed, and we were, boom, let's make the best of literally the 2 days.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That we're going to be in Vegas. Checked in, our first thing, I mean, literally showered, you know, got dressed, and went to our first dinner.
Yeah, I didn't realize once we landed, originally we were like, oh, we'll have a little time to decompress in a hotel room.
Well, no, because we were going to do dinner at 8 o'clock at my friend Nick's restaurant, which, by the way, Nick is always so amazing to us.
Yes.
So he had us scheduled at 8 o'clock, but then he calls and he goes, dude, we do a close-up magic show at the library in Park MGM, which, by the way, food, amazing. Atmosphere, amazing. Just a beautiful restaurant. Amazing food. It really blows your mind.
And sometimes they do a show in there, too. Like, if you have not... I feel like people don't talk about the library a lot. Like, when you read Vegas hot restaurants or whatever, it doesn't always come up. Maybe they want to keep it a secret, but the library is awesome.
Unbelievable. But in the side room, they had a close-up magic show with a guy they call the Rabbit.
Yes.
Oh, my God, dude. It was amazing. Amazing show. Get a ticket to go see this because I mean, there ain't but 40 people in the room.
Oh, you think so? I mean, it's very intimate. It's close. It's it's like close-up magic is what they call it. So it's meant to be done in a small room with people close.
But of course, Nick puts me in the front row, and then all of a sudden, me and Renae are part of the show, and he's using me as.
I mean, he pretty much used everybody in the front row, to be honest.
But in a classy way, like didn't make anybody feel uncomfortable. I mean, just his show. I just can't tell you enough. I mean, his show. He threw a fucking knife at me.
Yes.
I don't want to give away the show because this is the kind of show that I don't want to tell you what happens.
No.
But at the end of the show, he put this board around my neck, and the board is probably 2 feet by 2 feet, and it's sitting in front of me. And everybody throws their cards in the air, and he throws this knife, and it hits me.
You felt it.
Oh, and I'm like, and he's like, no, Steve, because I got to talk to him after. He's a fan. I'm a fan of him. He's a fan of mine. He goes, oh, I threw a knife at you. I'm like, holy crap. But man, the show was, he comes out in this tell him when you get your tickets, you have to say the
well, you're not supposed to give it away. Oh, you said I'm not going to give it away. Rick, you're going to have to bleep it out. But when you check in at the desk, there's like a certain phrase so that they know to lead you to this particular room. It's, and then we're totally giving away all the secrets.
No, we're not. We didn't know none of the tricks. But,
and you don't know the location until the day of.
But the show is like an hour and 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And I did not lose interest at all.
Oh, no.
I enjoyed, and I mean, he has you on your toes, and you're like, oh my God, what is next? What is he going to do?
Some magicians are like, because I love performance art, so I feel like you and I have seen quite a few magicians over the course of our relationship, but some of them are much better at the magic than the comedy, because you're playing and the playing with the audience, and he was just so good at all of it, and he wasn't cheesy, like it was
oh
good.
No, he was awesome, and like I said, hour and 20 minutes, close-up magic, one dude, he did have an assistant come out and do it.
Every magician has an assistant.
Yep, do a trick with him. But, I mean, I was just engaged. I was laughing. I was enjoying the show. I was on my toes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? what's gonna happen, you know, and everything just pieced together throughout the night. The way that he did his show, fucking amazing. And then after that, sat down, had the most incredible meal. Had a couple bottles of wine, had some cocktails, hung out. But the problem was Nick overfed us. And I just
because he was like, "Do you want to order, or do you just want the chef to cook for you?" And the move is always
tell the chef to cook. Yeah, the chef
whatever the chef wants to bring out, we will bring it
out. But I want you to know that my goal was, and through our relationship, kind of learning and trying to be a better husband, my goal was I'm gonna spend as much time with Renae, as she wants, and I'm gonna make an effort, a real effort, to hang out with my wife. And not run to the craps table. So I had planned that we would go to Losers at the MGM, listen to some live music, and dance with my wife. But as soon as we get there, all you girls were like... And I'm sitting there like, well, we came all this way to dance with you guys and have drinks. And the girls were just like, we're just tired. We're just tired. And I'm like... Well, we're not tired. What are we going to do? And all the girls were like, we just want to go to bed. That's what we want to do. We're
just like, take us back to...
Fucking perfect. Y'all go to bed. We'll go to the craps table. Yeah. But you had big plans for Saturday, you and the girls.
Oh, the girls and I had a great Saturday. We had, you had suggested, you were like, so the guys and I can gamble during the day. Why don't you and the girls set up a couple of hours at the spa? Which we did. One of our friends, Jen, had never... gotten a massage before. She'd never had that experience of like being in a spa, and Vegas is a pretty awesome place to do it. They have amazing spas. So we did that for a few hours, and then we came back and caught up with you guys.
A few hours? You got all fucking day.
No, it was just a couple of hours.
No, you came back for like 20 minutes, and then you're like, we also have shopping planned.
We did. We shopped, and we got our makeup done.
But even that, I want everybody here that watches and listens to know that even then I go, Carlos and I will walk with you guys as you shop. I was really trying to make an effort to spend more time with you than on the table.
Yeah.
But I will say, you guys, then y'all went and did your makeup?
We went and got our makeup done. Yes. What did you guys do while we were getting our makeup done?
We gambled a little bit, hung out, relaxed. You know, I mean, we were out till 6 a.m. So the next day for us was a little
just catching up.
Yeah, we were real chill. And Jake, as a matter of fact, was like, I just want a fucking IV. I need an IV. We didn't end up getting one, but you came back to the room, and then our room was actually facing the Sphere, the new Sphere, and we saw it lit up. Like, it is unfucking believable.
That thing's crazy. It's a Sphere made entirely of
like LED
screens. Yeah.
And the whole thing
transforms and morphs into whatever.
It's unbelievable, man. And so we got to see that. And then day 2 was dinner at Joe's.
Yes.
Stone Crab, not Joe's Crab Shack, Joe's Stone Crab.
It's your favorite restaurant.
That is for specifically your surf and turf. For a good steak and for the best king crab you will ever eat in your life.
That's a good way to put it, for good surf and turf. Yeah.
For the best king crab you will ever eat in your entire life, Joe's Stone Crab.
Yeah.
And I love stone crab, so we also had some stone crab. Is the absolute best. I mean, if you like king crab, it's a different experience.
Yeah.
If you think king crab is good anywhere else and you love it, it'll blow your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Even Carlos was like, oh, this is different. This is not what I expected.
Yeah.
Went to Joe's, and then we went to Absinthe. Absinthe.
Yes. Like the liquor. Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah. I mean, it's been in Vegas for a long time, but we just had never had a chance to see it. And I said, I want to see it. Like, at some point we need to see that show.
It is impressive. It is funny. It is raunchy.
Very raunchy. It is not the show to take your prude friend to.
Yeah, if you have a problem with raunchy, don't go.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody fucking everybody's, I'm not into that.
No,
but it's
I get it. It's
no,
some people,
but what you don't realize is that when they're in Vegas by themselves, they're all about it, right?
No,
It's people.
Yes, we should
to me,
definitely preface it. We loved it and thought it was funny.
It is just words, and we're all grown-ups. We're all adults. Like,
It is very blue. If that stuff makes you uncomfortable, then it won't be the show for you. But it is, because it is very raunchy. But it is, like, the theater nerd in me just could not get enough of the production value of the show and the pace and the comedy. It was so good.
Unbelievable, man. And the host guy, great. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him. He's great. But the girl that plays Wanda is one of the funniest people.
And I don't know her name because the cast rotates and they don't give you like a program like when you go to a Broadway show. So we can't say we don't know her name. But
I rarely laugh out loud. But she made me laugh out loud.
Yes.
Her character.
Her physical comedy.
Her delivery. I mean, I was genuinely gut laughing. And I never do that.
Yeah.
Like,
her commitment to that character.
As a comic, I see comics, and any comic will tell you, when comics watch other comics and a comic does something really funny or good, we just go, oh, that's funny. That's our way of saying, I would laugh there.
Yeah.
If I was a civilian, I would laugh there, right? Uh-huh. But I rarely laugh at a show. I laugh with my friends.
Yeah.
Like my friends and I, we fucking joke around and we laugh. But to watch a show, it's very. But she made me. I mean, she made me laugh.
Yeah.
And then, holy shit, the acrobatics and the strength of these people, women and men.
So Absinthe is at Caesars. If you've ever been in Vegas, there's this red and white striped tent in front of Caesars, and it is a variety show. But it's supposed to be like a trippy variety show, trippy raunchy variety show.
And it is, man. I mean, at one point in the aisles, these poles come up, and these women, hot women, get on there, and the whole pole is swaying back and forth and to the side to the point where they're almost touching the audience. Uh-huh. I mean, it was freaking amazing. The first guy, holy shit. Dude, he comes out. He's a little shorter than me, but he is ripped.
Yeah.
Definitely had to have been in the Olympics or something in gymnastics, because he was from the Ukraine. The Ukraine loves sending gymnastics people, right? This fucking guy, unbelievable.
Yeah.
How long he could do a handstand, one-handed. I mean, he would stack these chairs. I mean, literally 2 stories high.
Yeah.
And headstands I mean, it was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And we were in the second row, but someone said, there's really not, the way the show is, there's really not a bad seat in the house. And we almost felt like we wish we had been a few rows back because there was so much going on all around us, to be able to see it all.
But for whatever reason, man, the girls were into it. And afterwards, it was, let's go have a drink together. And we laughed and we had a good time. And then at some point, one of us said, hey, well, would you girls join us at the craps table? And you did.
Yeah.
And we had the girls were laughing. We're having a good time. Jen actually played. Kat did not. You did not.
No.
But it was a hang. And we were laughing, having a good time, winning monies. Until the freaking dealers.
Oh my gosh, they were arguing with each other.
They got in a fight.
And it's so weird because at craps, like the dealers really have to be, you realize, because they're all like, there's so many people throwing money all over this big long table, they have to be on the same page. Like they kind of have to work as a team. And they were arguing with each other. And then even the pit boss, it was like 2 women and 2 men, and the pit boss was female, and they were like shouting at her too, at the pit boss. Like she didn't have control of the situation. She had to get on the phone and like call backup. It was bad.
Completely ruined. We just left. It killed the mood. We were just like, all right, well, let's go to bed, because
Yeah.
You know, we all have to wake up at 4 a.m. to catch our flight.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to be honest with you, had they kept the good vibes, I think we probably would have stayed another hour.
Yeah.
Or maybe said, fuck it, let's stay up all night. I mean, because we were having a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And then literally these women, well, I don't know why you did that, and I don't want to do that, and you should have been over here, and you should have been over there, and I'm telling you to pay him, and here's the money right here. I mean, like a full freaking argument. I'm sitting there going, is this real? Is this...
What's going on?
And we even looked at the pit boss. We go, hey, Pit, come on, help us out. And then the pit boss was on the phone doing something and then arguing with... I'm just like, what the fuck is going... Completely killed the vibe. I mean, completely. So we went to bed, wake up to come home because we didn't want to be away from the kids.
I mean, the goal was to like go in, jam pack it real quick and come back. To be honest, I feel like after 2 or 3 nights in Vegas, it's a lot. You like really got to pace yourself if you're going to be there longer than that. Make sure you have naps, you know?
You do 2 days or 4 days?
Why 4?
Because day 3, you just tell everybody, y'all do whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah,
just chill, relax.
That's true.
Meet up, whatever. Day 3, just whatever. We leave day 4, right?
Yeah.
Or you do 2 days and you go, we're going fucking hard, right? Yeah. So that's what we did. We went hard. And then our plan was, okay, we'll be back to the kids by the time Garrett gets out of his camp. And then, dude, it's fucking miserable. 4:30 in the morning. We're all tired. We've been beat up. Nobody's talking. We get in the car. While we're on the way to the airport, they're like, your flight is delayed until 2 p.m. We're like, oh my God, I really would have loved to know that.
Before we were en route to the airport.
Before we already made plans to wake up. And so we check in and then go back and all of us just
went back to sleep.
Yeah. We just fucking pass out and get some sleep. So that was the only bump. I told you, it would have been perfect to have gotten on that early flight.
Yeah.
Been home by 1 o'clock, pick up our son and see our kids by 3 o'clock. Instead, we ended up getting home at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. As
opposed to 2 o'clock. But that was the only little bump in the road that we had. But I do think that, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed my time with you.
Oh, I had a great time, baby.
You know, I really...
It was amazing.
I think both of us really needed a date, 2 days together. Yeah. You know, and I think it's important for a marriage. I think, you know, and that's one of the things that I talked to Garrett because Garrett said, well, Dad, why do you and Mom have to go without us? And I said, well, son, and I always I treat Garrett like an adult, you know, and I talk to him like an adult. And I said, well, you know, I love your mom and I want to stay in love with your mom. And in order for me to stay in love with your mom, we need time together. Yeah. You know, we need time to spend where it's just me and her, where I can take her on a real date. And Garrett goes, oh, I understand that. You know, I understand that you want time with Mom. You know, so I did need it. And I encourage couples to, you know, to take a step back from the pace of life sometimes. Yeah. And go, okay, it has to just be me and my wife. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to give all the categories the attention that they need. And sometimes just saying, I'm just going to focus on this one is really good.
Well, really and like you said, I think some couples, they do like, okay, we're going on a date night.
They do. I know couples who do a weekly date night.
Yeah, maybe it's just that, right? Maybe it's hey, we're going to go on a real date. Yeah. We're going to get that babysitter, right? We're going to go. And I think that my show is that for a lot of people. Yes. Right? Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm going to go with my wife and another couple, and we're buying tickets to Steve Trevino. And we're going to sit there and we're going to have a laugh together and laugh about our relationship. Yeah. And the things that we're going through and enjoy a night out away from the kids.
Your show is great for that.
Adult humor, you know, and it was funny because, again, there was a quite the debate on my Instagram about, you know, why do you need to curse? And it's like, guys.
I didn't see it.
My show is so far from raunchy. And it is, all I can say is that my show is strong language, but it's people act like they don't hear that language every day, you know.
Well, you know what? I think people like to know what they're getting into. That's why I think it's great that we said, look, Absinthe is an amazing show. We would go back and see it again a second time, but it is very raunchy. So if that's not your thing, you're not going to like it.
I think it's silly.
Well,
like you're an adult, you're a grown up. There's no kids around.
That's
Vegas.
what I was going to say. I think sometimes people think, especially like with social media or with your act, they see a little clip and because there's no language in it, they think that when they get to the theater, that's going to be the same thing.
It's like me if I do radio. You won't hear a bad word out of my mouth when I do radio. When I coach Little League, when I coach baseball, you will not hear a bad word come out of my mouth. When I coach football, which I'm coaching flag football right now, you will not hear a bad word come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
When I coach jiu-jitsu, you will not hear a bad word come out of my mouth. It's where is it appropriate, right?
Yeah.
You know, and to me, a comedy show, if I drop an F-bomb, you know, every once in a while, get over it. Like it's adults. We're all grown-ups. You know?
I think it just depends on how you grew up and what you're used to. Because I use language too, and I notice that like when I'm in a group of women sometimes and I drop an F-bomb, like sometimes I can see something on one of their faces and I'm like, oh, I probably rubbed them the wrong way a little bit because I use language. But for me, I feel like that's the New Yorker in me. Do you know what I mean? Like people use language like that all the time and don't think twice about it. But if you grew up in the South and you're very conservative or, you know, I can see how it like catches people off guard.
I think it's silly. You know, I mean, I don't even care. I mean, if people curse in front of my son or around my kids, like that doesn't even bother me.
That doesn't bother me
because
either.
I teach.
But that's because we use those words.
But we use those words, but I teach my kids like, no, dude, you can't use those words. Those words are not for you.
Yeah.
And adults use those words, and you are not.
But I think you're right. I think there's a time to use them, and there's a time not to. And then sometimes we just don't care.
And for me, it's like we're all adults. Like, I mean, you know. And I get it, you know, and we've had the comment before on this podcast where they're like, do you need to use the F-bomb? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but that's how we talk. And me and Renae are having a real conversation. I grew up around the words, you know, so it doesn't like nothing but even the raunchy stuff at Absent, to me, it's Vegas. We're all adults. Like, get the fuck over yourself. Like, it was funny, and she was funny, and he was funny, and you know, it did really ride the line of raunchy, you know. But I don't know. I totally enjoyed the show. I laughed my ass off. And then again, I'm looking at the audience because I'm also seeing how they're receiving the jokes and the vulgarity and the dick jokes and the sex jokes and you know. And I'm like, dude, there's so many old people here that if you saw them out in public, you would think, oh, there's no way those people, they seem very conservative, very, you know what I mean? But
I'm also like, why does it have to be an age thing?
But they were laughing their fucking asses off, you know. At one point, they invited this couple on stage for the man to give her a lap dance. And I mean, they were both in their 60s. And the dude threw his shirt off and danced, and his shoes came flying off. And he's like rubbing up on his wife. And we all had just a great time letting loose, being in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, and it was an awesome show. But ultimately, I'm so happy that Renae and I got to spend that time together. I think it was definitely a rejuvenation for us in our relationship.
Yeah.
Because we have been going through a tough time. You know? And when you go through a tough time, you know, we always talk about, like, unfortunately, when you're in a relationship, sometimes you're the one that has to get it and take it, my grumpiness, because you're my wife and we're together all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to take the grumpiness from you.
Yeah.
And it's just part of it. And as time goes by and you get more grumpy and you get more upset with your spouse just because they're there, and you forget to have moments like this, then it's just another week went by.
It compounds.
It compounds, and another week went by, and another week went by, and that's the issue, right? Is that can you stop? Can you take your wife out on a date again? Go ahead, baby, please.
Oh, what do you mean?
Talk.
Oh, no, it just, you know what, you were the one who like scheduled it and planned this, and you really wanted to do it. And I was like, we're just so busy. I think there's so much going on. But I'm glad we did it. Even coming back, like, so excited. The kids came running in the door to greet us. They were so excited to see us. And this morning, like waking up and getting the kids breakfast and getting them off to bed, like you, as a mom too, I think just to like, because it's hard to leave the kids.
It is hard to leave the kids.
But I think even this time, I feel like it was good for our kids.
It was good for our kids.
Leaving was hard for them, but like coming back, I feel like it was good for our kids to work through that, both of them.
And we've done nothing but focus on them this month, together with them in Hawaii, together with them, kind of traveling and here at the house. We've really focused on, our kids and doing things with our kids and hanging out with our kids. And, so it was, I think one more day and I would have been a little irritated and frustrated to come back to the kids.
I think that's valid info too, as we're sharing about this trip, is you and I have taken time away from them, and if it is any longer than 3 days, we start to get grumpy about it.
Because we want our kids
ready
back,
to be home. We want to be with the kids. So I think that's important. I think just short little window. If you can definitely go for too long.
Well, you look beautiful as always. We missed you guys so very much. I am Steve Trevino. This is Captain Evil. There are still people who watch my comedy who don't know I have a podcast or that we have a podcast. So please let people know. Please tag your friends that you think will like it. I would like to thank Aztec Chevrolet for always being there for us and always being a sponsor. We love them very, very much. Give them a chance if you are in the Texas area. Old Salt Coffee. We cannot live life without it now. And you will see that for a drip coffee that you get to order, it is the best, and we absolutely love it. Trevino 10 is the code. Download Pick Cherries to listen to our podcast, to Pick Cherries and send them to your friends. We love you guys so very much. We cannot live our life without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so appreciative. And by the way, if you ever wanted to see a Netflix filming, we're doing it Thanksgiving weekend, the weekend after Thanksgiving in San Antonio, Texas at the Tobin Center. See you guys soon.